Hi, I'm Lisa Niven Kelly, founder of Beaducation, and today I'm here to show you all kinds of different designs for your stamped metal jewelry. If you haven't already learned to stamp, you got to jump on over and check out my other class, Stamping on Metal. It's a free class, and I go on and on about all the details you need to learn, go into depth on tools and materials, and all that good stuff. Once you've done that and you're ready to push your designs to the next level, come on over here, check this out, welcome. And I want to remind you that on our site we have all kinds of classes that incorporate stamping. So make sure to look at those, as well as the DIY design section. Tons of design ideas in there, and we're going to show you a bunch of those today. Want to remind you about the book that I wrote. This is a great go-to place for design ideas as well, and you'll learn some new techniques in that. Cool? So let's get started. The first design I want to talk about is layering. It's a pretty obvious design. You just take your blanks, punch a hole in the top, and the jump ring goes through all the blanks. So all three of these are on one jump ring. Has some nice movement, and you can layer names. This right here is just class of 2013 Sarah, but I've done this with a kid's name on the top, in the middle, on the bottom. That's a really popular design. Here's one with just things of interest. This is my daughter Izzy. She loves volleyball and her bike, so that's her pendant. And then this one is fun too. We've actually put a little secret message in the back there, but the back plate is textured with some flower stamps, and the front just has a nice word and a pretty design stamp. It's all strung on chain and beads. So there's one design idea. Remember, you don't always have to stamp straight lines. On these samples here, we've stamped on a curve. So this guy, we've got Elizabeth facing out. Over here with home is where the heart is, we've got the letters facing in. Either one looks nice. I just wanted to show you those options. And if you're used to lining up your letters against maybe a Sharpie pen line or the edge of some tape, you're now going to use the edge of this rounded part as your guide and stamp from there. I wanted to show you some examples of collage stamping where you're sort of thinking outside the box with your design stamps to build a scene. Now, we do have a free class on this with Danelle Street called Collage Stamping, and I recommend checking that out so she can show you some of the techniques. But here's a couple simple samples. Over here, this one's really straightforward, just two birds on a line, and she used the slash stamp to build these lines, so stamping it over and over again. So you can go simple to a little more intense over here. Like on the Jen pendant, we've got some grass and leaves and flowers, and I really like how she used two different fonts there for the name. That kind of adds a little spice in there. This one here on the top and bottom of Layla, that's just one design stamp, but she stamped it 3 times and then 3 times here to build a whole nother look with the one stamp. And up here, I love this tree. She used our cloud stamp as sort of the bushy branches of the tree and the slash stamp to build the trunk and the branches. As you're designing along, where I've just encouraged you to think outside of the box with the design stamps, I want to encourage you to think outside of the box with the blanks. So here we've got a really big circle that we've made into a gift tag, and this is an ornament, and this large shape was cut out of sheet, and this was riveted on. It's pretty sweet. And look at this guy, it's a gift tag, so on this side, to Jill from Mary, but something that they can keep and maybe hang from the tree or hang on the wall, or even a piece of jewelry. On these samples, we again thought outside the box with the design stamps. And you can see all the super fun texture that we were able to create. On this pendant up here, we used like 6 different design stamps, stamped in a pattern moving from the inside out, and then actually put on a white patina and buffed it off to leave the white down in the impressions. Something new and interesting. Over here on the chevron, I used a texture hammer on the brass pieces to get that fun texture, and then design stamps on the copper pieces. And on this guy here, we really went for it and made all kinds of different textures with a bunch of different stamps. And then the 3 layers are put together with nuts and bolts to make this pendant. You can check out our product video on the nuts and bolts to figure out how to use those. I want to mention a little bit about shaping. That's why I've got you looking at the tops of these bracelet pieces. On a piece, let's say like this guy here, if I left all these segments straight, it wouldn't flow nicely around my wrist, but because I've given them a slight bend, it does take on the shape of my wrist nicely. Same goes for this cuff and this flat plaque piece here. So I'll show you what I use for that. It's called a bracelet bending plier, and it looks like this. It's a nylon jaw, and it's got a curve in it. So you can come on your metal and just squeeze, 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 and it starts to curve it in the perfect shape. If you want to learn more about this tool or learn how to make these stamped cuffs, check out my Say It On Your Wrist free class. These samples show some techniques that I really want to encourage you to get into, and it's soldering and riveting. So this piece here, this heart, is soldered on to this sterling circle, and I think it just looks great. These simple soldering like this, and we do have a free class on this, really can help you add interesting embellishments to your pieces. Over here, these pieces are riveted. This little flower, the gold flower, is riveted onto the copper washer with a heart decorative rivet. So that's kind of fun. The top of the rivet is typically round. This guy is a heart. We have other shapes as well. These two are riveted together with two rivets right there. And this one up here uses riveting and soldering. So this A is soldered to this copper piece, and then the whole copper piece is riveted to this back piece that I've textured with some design stamps. So it kind of brings the whole thing in together. You can see how soldering and riveting really lend themselves well to stamping, and I encourage you to go check out our free classes, the soldering one like I mentioned. We've got some on riveting, various designs, and check out our product videos because you'll find some tips in there as well. Along the lines of riveting and soldering, I just wanted to show you these two bracelets. We've really been having fun adding stuff to leather. So these are some leather cuffs, and these plaques that we've made, the top pieces and the little flowers are soldered on, and then the whole piece is riveted to the leather. So it makes a really fun, interesting bracelet. As I mentioned in the intro, our goal today is to inspire you. So I hope you learned a whole bunch of stuff. I wanted to play with an idea though. I have this plaque here that says Sarah, and I've riveted on the star. I just want to talk about all the various ways that I can then make this into, let's say, a bracelet. So I want to show you. I've got a lot of choices. I can rivet it onto a piece of leather. That looks great. I can take some leather cording and either run it through each side and tie it off, or maybe run it through the back and have it be a really simple bracelet that way. That also looks nice. Or with some jump rings, attach it to some chain and just make it like a little plaque bracelet. I like that a lot. Or another thing that I've done quite often is attach it to a strand of beads. So don't forget that very large selection of beads you got sitting at home, my friends, and use some stringing wire and attach it up with some beads. Let's see, that would look nice like that as well. So there you go, the possibilities are endless. Have fun. Okay, my friends, so that's a lot of designs. I didn't lie, did I? Don't forget about all the stuff I reminded you about on our website to check out, and always think outside of the box. So we're not just making jewelry with stamps. You can do all kinds of different stuff. Think outside of the box with the blanks and with the stamps. Have fun, and always drop us a line and let us know what you're working on. We look forward to seeing that. Thanks again.